Hello everyone and welcome back to another video where I play a random game and see if it becomes my favorite game of the year. And it looks like today's game is Kingdom Come Deliverance. Okay, so I did invest about 80 odd hours into this game, but that being said, it wasn't 80 hours of intense gameplay. Now most of the other games that I have played that are similar to this usually have magic or some form of mystical powers that the player can use. So this game was completely new to me, with it being a classless RPG. But that being said, I did really enjoy this style of game. Now I haven't had a game make me so angry with the enemy compared to back on World of Warcraft when World PvP was a thing. But being chased out of my hometown by the enemies and they just wail on me and I cannot do anything about it. All I wanted to do was get stronger and start chopping heads. Now I knew that this game was gonna be a longer game. And I know what I'm like, and that I would just hunker down on the small parts and spend hours and hours not progressing the main quests. So I kind of had to tell myself to forget about some of the side quests and some of the minor levels and proceed with the main storyline. That being said, when I attempted the main quest where I go hunting, I could not pass it. I just keep getting rinsed by the enemies. So I proceeded back to Rattay and began leveling. Just hours spent fighting training as well as collecting herbs, only to find out that I can't read, which is when I realized that this wasn't a standard RPG like I'm used to. I made most of my gold from entering the archery competition. I'm sure that there is far more lucrative ways of making gold, but this was the only way that I could really find that was consistent, until I had some lucky dice. So once I had enough money and enough levels, I get up and just bombarded the rest of the campaign. Now, I found that Kingdom Come Deliverance was a very well thought out game. I really enjoyed that, even just the layout of the towns, where each one of them has like a water stream as the central point, which is very true to how towns and cities would have come to be. Each one had their niche, prospects of why the towns were initially formed. Okay, so the progression of the game did feel well thought out while you proceeded. Not only did you get stronger or get more stamina, or things cost less stamina, but also the quality of life, things became better, like food spoiling less quickly, being able to hold more in your backpack, being able to pass speech checks. So you definitely felt stronger in all aspects as the game progressed. Now, one thing that I didn't like from the start, and I still didn't like till the end, was the combat system. Now it could be because it was just a bit too advanced for me, but at the start I just couldn't beat anyone in a fight until I at least learnt the master block. And then after training enough, I realized I can just cheese the AI by master blocking pretty much any enemy. And even once my strength and agility got quite high, I still couldn't manage to guarantee a proper fight, where if I swung and chose a different direction, I could try and dodge their block. Early game majority of the fights just felt like I was master blocking. And then when it came to the mid to late game, majority of the main storyline fights involved armies charging in. So I didn't need to know how to fight well, I just needed enough stamina to just keep slashing the enemies till they died. So for me, I did feel like the combat system was a bit overcomplicated for what was required. Also, it could just be because I grinded it all out in the early game. But the currency system seemed a bit broken, as by mid to late game I didn't need any money, and that's when I started making copious amounts from doing quests. Now the food in the game was definitely a mixed bag in my opinion, because it had so much potential as a game mechanic with healing, nutrition and food quality, and so I felt like it was something that was going to play a major part as I played the game. But then I realized every town, which is where you are pretty much doing every main quest, they have food in a cauldron cooking, so you can just fill up every time you go to a town, so it made hunger negligible. I felt like the quests were definitely one of the best parts of the game, even though some of them were essentially travel to one spot and then back and talk to someone and then go to another spot. They were very well done in the way it didn't feel like traveling mule. Also, having to craft a save potion was actually a really nice touch. I feel like a lot more games should have something similar because it made you have to really think about a decision that could alter the rest of your gameplay. Now, with all this being said, and the fact that this was not a hardcore run, and I didn't do a full playthrough, just trying to focus on the main campaign, I'm going to have to chalk this game at a 6.9 out of 10, and even though I'll probably be playing number 2 at some point, I don't think that this one will be a favourite game of the year contender. So thanks again for watching. This was game number 4, and let me know if you've played this game, whereabouts did you, or your horse get stuck, and I'll see you on the next one.